Hi, I'm Grant Collier, and welcome to my video series on post-processing night photos. These videos are intended for people with some experience working in Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. You should have an understanding of how to import photos into Lightroom and work on them in the Develop module. You should also have an understanding of how to make selections, adjustment layers, and masks in Photoshop. There's a lot of books and videos that teach the basics, so I'll spend most of my time going over more specialized techniques that I use for night photography. Now, there is a perception amongst some people today that any work done on an image in Lightroom or Photoshop will make it less real, and that the only real photos are the ones that come straight out of the camera completely unaltered. One problem with this belief is that the sensors in digital cameras convert photons of light into data that is represented by a series of zeros and ones. If you want something that is completely unaltered from what the camera recorded, it will be a series of zeros and ones, not a photograph. In order to produce an image, the data captured by the camera sensors must be converted into pixels, each of which contains one color value. There is no right way to convert the data into pixels. You can let the camera or computer software do all the work, or you can provide input into how you want the image rendered by adjusting the contrast, white balance, brightness, etc. And it's my belief that a photographer knows what it is they were trying to capture in a photograph better than the default settings of a software program. By letting the camera or computer software render the photo, you are not producing an image that is more real. You are instead letting software make all your artistic decisions for you. This can be especially problematic for night photos, as the software is designed to optimize photos taken during the day. Photos taken at night can also have unnatural artifacts like noise, vignetting, and chroma. Minimizing or eliminating these artifacts in post-processing will make your images more realistic. I'll begin this video series by going over common adjustments in parts 1 and 2 that I make to most of my night photos. Then I'll go over more specialized techniques that you may want to do with some of your images. In these later videos, I'll often start with an image that has little work done to it. After applying the specialized techniques, most of these images will then need to be finalized using techniques like those shown in part 2. To avoid redundancy, I don't finalize all of these images. So know that the final image I show in the video is not the final product and will usually need more work. I had to compress the videos just to keep the total file size below 3 GB. So some of the finer details are not as visible, and therefore it's hard to see the results of a few of the adjustments, like noise reduction, as you also start to see banding in the image. I've included practice images that you can use to follow along with the videos. If you have your own images that you can work on, I recommend using them instead of the practice images, as I believe that applying these techniques to your own images is the best way to learn. Finally, I want to add that the best way to become proficient at post-processing is until you find a style of processing that works best for you. Remember that there is no right way to process images. How you want your photos to look is ultimately your own artistic decision. This is especially true for night photos, as our eyes can't see as much as the camera does. To some extent, we can only imagine what the night sky looks like as we are half blind to it. Our cameras and computer software can help bring our imagination to life.